I have always been here. Before the first note of sorrow was ever plucked from a steel string, before the first man knelt in the dust and begged for mercy, I was watching, I was listening, I was waiting. I have no name, though men have called me many. The ancients whispered of Mephistopheles. In hushed tones, they invoked my presence in dead languages, fearful that names have power. Some call me the shadow in the dark, the whisper in the wind, the weight pressing on a man's soul when he knows, when he truly knows, he has gone too far to turn back. But here, in the deep, sweltering south, where the land drinks the sweat of the desperate and the night hums with secrets, I go by a simpler name, the devil at the crossroads. Many have come looking for me, men with hollow eyes and trembling hands, men who have nothing left but hunger and the weight of dreams too large for their brittle bones. Some get lost in the dark before they ever find the path. Some falter, whispering prayers to a God they no longer believe in. And then there was him. His name was Robert Johnson. You know what hell is? Not the hell of fire and brimstone, of tortured whales and sulphurous pits. No, those are fairy tales for children, designed to keep them clinging to the comfort of light. The real hell was Mississippi in the 1920s. It was waking before the sun, with chains of labor wrapped around your wrists and ankles. It was breaking your back in fields that stretched to the horizon, fields that swallowed generations whole, leaving nothing behind but ghosts and unmarked graves. It was knowing that the world had already carved your epitaph before you took your first breath. It was walking past a tree and seeing something hanging from it, something that was once a man, now a warning. It was the hush that followed, the way people averted their eyes, as if not looking could unmake the horror. But from suffering, something was born. Something that could not be whipped, could not be chained, could not be buried. The blues, a lament, a cry, a defiance wrapped in sorrow, where the weight of history was pressed into 6 strings, and a voice that carried through the night. It was the sound of a people who had lost everything but still had their voices. And among these voices, there was a boy. A thin, quiet boy with restless fingers and eyes that saw too much. A boy who did not accept the world as it was given to him. Robert Johnson. Robert did not want to be good. He wanted to be great. No, he needed to be great, but he was not. His fingers stumbled. His chords fell flat. The music in his heart did not translate to the strings beneath his hands. The other musicians laughed. They told him to stop, that some men were born to sing the blues, and some were born to listen. And then one day, he vanished. Months passed. Then one night, he walked into a juke joint, the same Robert Johnson, or so they thought. Quiet, unassuming, a shadow slipping between the bodies and the smoke, until he picked up a guitar. And then, the world stopped. His fingers danced like phantoms, bending, sliding, pulling impossible sounds from the air itself. The guitar did not merely sing, it wept, it howled, it confessed secrets no mortal man should have known. And then he sang. I went to the crossroad, fell down on my knees. The room held its breath. What had happened? How could a man change so much in so little time? And then the whispers began. Robert Johnson had made a deal with me. But let me tell you a secret. I do not seek souls. Men come to me long before they ever reach the crossroads. Their hearts are already burning, already lost, All I do is fan the flames. And Robert, oh, Robert burned brighter than most. But fire does not only illuminate, it consumes. Robert Johnson died at 27. No doctor, no prayers, no mercy, just the wind outside, a storm rumbling in the distance, and a guitar leaning against the wall, strings still humming with echoes of something not of this world. But a man like Robert Johnson does not simply die. His music did not fade. It traveled. It seeped into the bones of those who came after. Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin. Eric Clapton called him the most important blues singer that ever lived. Even now, if you listen closely, you can hear his ghost in every note that bends, in every song that wails with longing and regret. And they say, the crossroads are still there, a dirt road under a black sky, waiting for the desperate, the broken, the hungry. They say that if you go at midnight, if you bring your guitar, if you truly have nothing left to lose, you may hear footsteps behind you. You may feel the air turn cold. And then, in the silence, you may hear a voice, smooth as sin, whispering, "Well now, what do we have here?" Have you ever heard of Robert Johnson before? Do you believe in the legend of the Crossroads? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another tale of mystery and darkness. Now tell me, where are you watching from? I love seeing how far these stories travel, so drop your country in the comments below.